Hi, my name is Paul Brand, and welcome to this recording on an orientation for a new business partner in Organo Gold. And in this particular orientation that we do in our team, it is really to introduce the new distributor to their online business and the online aspect of their business. And in this session that may last anywhere from 20 to 35 or 40 minutes, our intention is to have the new distributor be aware of where to get some key things in their business and also to have them set up on some key tools for their business. So the first thing I do with a new business partner, is just congratulate them on starting and to show them their website, which is what you're seeing right now. So this is the website that a new business partner has. It will be specific to them in that it will have their name and details here. And the key thing I want business partners to know about their their storefront, their online store, is how to communicate their store information to other persons. And it's just one key thing I tell them. Because we are in right now we're in 35 countries, each a person in each of those countries may have a different combination of products available to them at the time. So if I know somebody in any one of the countries that we do business in, and I want to send them a link to my site, I want to send them a link to the site I have that is in their country. So let's say I know somebody in Canada, and it so happens that this person has French as their major language in French, the French part of Canada. Then and I'm sending my information to them. The link that I would send them would be the link to my Canadian French speaking store. And how I do that, I would click on select country right here. It's to the right, just under the phone number, and it gives me a drop down list of the countries that we're in. And my friend is in Canada and they speak French. So I'm going to click on the French. And then what would show up is how they would see my site when they click on it. And this is what they'd see. They would see stuff in French. And if they go to products, they will see the products available to them in Canada, and they would see it in French. And therefore, if I'm emailing this person in Canada, then I would click on the URL, the link right at the top left here. And you notice that it has CA-FR, which is how the system picks up my Canada French business. Isn't that amazing? And for every country that we're in, we have that. So I would copy this link, and that's what I would include in the email. And that's a major thing I want them to know about this site right here. But certainly I want to encourage them to use the retail script and ensure that they introduce people to their site and that they send people the link so that they can really start their business right away. That's the first thing that I show them. And that's pretty much the main thing I show them about their storefront. And then I tell them, listen, go to your store and click on every button and read up everything, because when you send people, they're going to read up everything as well. So just know what it is that they'll see. You go to the company, go to the opportunity, click on the events, just go to everything. All right, great. Okay, great. So then the next thing I'm going to walk through the new distributor is her $1 million back office. That is the place where she manages her business from. That is the place where she can see who are her customers, who are her business partners, how much she's going to be paid, how much she's earned, and so on. So I'll take her to her back office, and it looks something like this. How does she get here? Well, she gets here through her login link right here. And if she clicked on it right here, it's going to go straight to the office because it's open. But she would need to put in her distributor ID, which is here, and she would need to have put in the password which she would have used to start the business. So once she's in her back office, there are 5 things that I'm going to show to her and that I'm going to have her set up to do. The first thing is I'm going to have her set herself up on the autoship. The autoship is the way Organo Gold recognizes that a business partner is really doing the business and deserves to be paid. So the autoship is really a monthly minimum requirement for products that you need to buy from Organo Gold, for Organo Gold to get a clear sense that you are still doing the business of the business and that you should get paid. If you do not do a minimum order of business each month, then Organo Gold will not pay you for the work that you've done. Because it's another way to look at this is this. If you can call it your light bill for your business, you can call it your phone bill for your business. It's just this expense that indicates that you're in business. Now, what do you use? What do you auto ship? Well, you actually are buying products. And let me just click on it. So I'll walk them through this in the first place. And for the auto ship, then they would go right here. So this is a new distributor. They can set 2 days for their auto ship, the 5th or the 15th. I encourage persons to auto ship as early as possible in the month. And it sometimes depends on when they joined. Now, the month in which you start your business, you would auto ship beginning the next month. So if you start in March, your auto ship begins in April. And if you start at the end of March, your auto ship still begins in April. All right. So you would select the date that you want to have your products shipped off to you. The system picks up the shipping address and the billing address that you'd have put in the first place. If there are changes to the shipping address, you indicate that right here. And then you go ahead and pick what you want to order. You pick what you want to order. So you can pick any of these products. And let's say this person is first going to be ordering for what their household needs. And she has a daughter that loves the chocolate. So she's going to buy a box of chocolate. She knows that. She is a latte person. She drinks 2 cups per day. So she knows she needs 2 boxes. Her husband is a straight coffee person, straight black. And he's going to need 2 boxes as well. Now, if she started off with a silver or a gold pack, she needs to have to ensure that she orders a minimum of what we call a minimum qualifying volume of business of 100. So all the products that she orders should total at least 100 QVs, qualifying volume, for Organo Gold to believe, or for Organo Gold to pay her for being a business partner at the level of silver or a bronze pack, at the level of a consultant. If she had started off with a bronze pack, then the minimum monthly requirement would be the equivalent of 50 qualifying volume worth of business. So let's say this is what this business partner did. She would then simply click on submit. She would click on submit, and the system will actually just confirm her order. Now, if this particular distributor was signed up as a silver consultant or a gold consultant, then this order here would not meet her minimum criteria. The minimum criteria for authorship for a silver or a gold consultant is that the qualifying volume must be 100 or more, not the order not the order value, the qualifying volume. So in this case, this partner would just go back in and just order. She's short 22 QVs of products, so she would go in and just order something that would give her 22 QVs of products, 22 qualifying volumes. If she was a bronze consultant, she has met her minimum measure of 50 qualifying volumes, and she could proceed with this order. In any case, once she has met the minimum qualifying volumes, she put in her card information and she clicks submit, and voila, she is set up. And every month at that time, Organo Gold would go to her card and would charge her card for the value of the product that she has bought and would ship her products off to her. That's the auto ship. That's the first thing I tell them to do. The second thing I walk them through is to ensure that they get their Organo Gold debit card. And to do that, under Other, they go to OG Wallet. And they're going to do two steps, okay? Because it's a demonstration, this person has already done the step. But the first thing they're going to do is activate. They're going to click on activate their account, okay? They're going to go here, and they would put in either of these information that they gave. Typically, though, they put in either the email account that they signed up their Organo Gold business with, or their distributor ID. And once they do that, it's going to ask them a series of information. It's going to ask them for their date of birth. It's going to ask them for a password. It's going to ask them to put in two security questions. They put in those security questions, and they're going to ask them a few questions, which they answer. Very straightforward. They click on that. Once they activate, then they need to log in, because they need them to request their card. They have to specifically request their card. So they will go to the login section. And let me do it for this person. Never mind my dog there. I'm sorry. I'm just going to log in for this account here. And so once they've activated their account, they need to come here. And this says activate account, but what you would see would be a request card, and then you just request your card. Once you request your card, then you're gonna wait anywhere from 2 to 4 to 5 weeks to receive your card. If you're doing this in Jamaica, your card will be available again in 2 to 4 weeks or so, and you will need to go to the head office to pick up your card, okay, at 6 Belmont Road. For most other places across the world, your card will be mailed to you. But this is the second step I would walk people through, getting set up on their Organo Gold Visa debit card, okay? People want to work, they want to get paid, and when they get paid, they want to be able to invest or to spend that money. So that's the second thing I do. The third thing I'm going to do with persons is to connect them to their training material, which is in their OG University. And therefore, and to do that, let me do that again. That may have gone very quickly. You go to Other. Come here. Never mind my dogs. Come here, Toby. You go to Other, and you click on the OG University, and it sends you to the OG University front page. Now, for you to register in the university, you scroll down and you click on register for OGU, and you complete the information. It's 2 steps to register: the basic user information, and then on the next page, it's going to ask you for your rank, why you're in it, and a few other information, and then you are registered. Once you're registered, there's still more information you can do to complete your profile, but it's not necessary to get access to the university. But once you're registered, then you come back to the home page and you log into the university. I'm just showing you what it looks like. And here I let the distributor know that there's some key resources that I want them to cover in the next few days to a week. And firstly, I point them to the training section of the site, where there's training on the product. And the training here is really the most basic training you need, delivered by the master himself, Houghton Buggs. That's how to sample your way to success. They can also see training on the compensation plan if they want. Obviously, and everybody wants to know, how do we get paid? And here there is tremendous videos on all of them by Houghton Buggs that walks them through every single way we get paid: retail commissions, fast track, every single way we get paid Mr. Bugs explains to them, and he ends by sharing with you how to enroll people and the plan to really build a big business. I ask my new business partners to go there and ensure that they cover that in their first within their first week of business. Then I also point them to another section that I find to be extremely useful, which is the tip of the week. The tip of the week, where the diamonds, the black diamonds, the blue diamonds, the Coin Ambassador diamonds have shared different aspects of the business to build it. And I would say to my business partner, listen, I want you to schedule at least an hour each week where you go to the university and you review your training material. This is a university where you go to on your own volition, and there are tremendous training resources here. All right, so you go there. So that's the third thing I set persons upon. Then I go back to their site. So I've already set them up on autoship. I've already provided them with their visa, a card, how to get that. I've connected them with the university. And then I also want to let them know about some key resources for their business that they need to know and they need to have. So I direct them to the documents section of their website. And I let them know that they firstly want to get documents for the country in which they're registered. If they're in Australia, they look at the Australia documents. If they're in the US, they look at the US documents. Whichever country they're in, there are 5 or so documents that I recommend that person begin to look at immediately. Firstly, I say, listen, I want you to take a look at um, the murmur jogger, because you're going to use the murmur jogger to build your list. And as a new business partner, building your list is perhaps the first thing that you really need to begin to work on. So use the jogger to help you. Then I direct them to the coffee script and the 4 questions. This is how they're going to begin to build their business from day one. The 4 questions is the 4 questions that are asked to sample the product. The coffee script is the script they will use to invite people to go to their website to buy their product. I then direct them to the application form, and I say to them, "Listen, you wanna just go to this application form and create a folder on your computer. Just create a folder for Organo Gold and have these documents at hand readily." Okay, so I would point them to the application form as well, the distributor application form. They need to just have a copy of that at all times. In fact, you want to be prepared to be building your business at all times. So definitely have copies of that application form on your person almost everywhere you go. Certainly in your briefcase. All right, or your or whatever it is you drive around with or walk around with daily. But certainly in your business kit, you want to have application forms. Then I also point them to the price list for them to be very clear about the pricing in their territory. And I would suggest to hear that you really want to stick to the recommended retail prices. You don't want to go below that. And of course, you can price accordingly based on whether or not you're picking up the product for the person or not. And then the last tool I direct them to here is a compensation plan document. And this is how a new business partner will become familiar with the language of the business, with how the compensation plan works, with the qualifying ranks in the business, how do you achieve them. There's some information on Ganoderma itself and some information on each of the product itself. It's a very, very powerful resource. So I direct the business partner to that. And again, just pull it down, have it on your desktop, or just print it out and just cover it, because a lot of the questions that they may want to ask you, the new business partner, is answered right there. And because leverage is such an important thing in our business, we don't want to spend time doing something that they can already just click on a button and go find. All right. So that's what I would point them to. That's the 4th thing I would show them. And then the last thing that I would do is set them up on the help desk. The help desk. Now, Organo Gold has a tremendous system of support. Our customer service people are certainly the best in the business. And to get support from the help desk as and when you need it, you first need to sign up for the help desk. A very simple process. You you go to sign up and you sign up. Okay, put in your username, your email address, you verify that you're a human being, you sign up, and once you've done that, then you can begin to post. You can begin to post in Organo Gold. You can begin to post requests for support at the help desk. So once you've signed up there, then you can sign in. You can go right here, type your questions. You want to submit a request, put your email, say what, ask the question you want to ask, submit, and they'll respond to you in very timely fashion. All right, so that's it. That's it for the orientation on just the business side of it. I end this part by saying to my new business partners, feel free to go to your site and click on every single button until you know what it is. But remember, you've just started business. You have time to learn about every aspect. There is no need right now to learn everything about your back office. That does not make you any money. There's no need. Don't spend in significant amounts of time in the couple months trying to understand everything about your back office. It is not that important. The most important things you will know is to sample, have your CGMs, learn how to do the retail scripts, and learn the basic skills of inviting, edifying, and three-way calling. Okay? So that's it. That would literally be the orientation to the business that I would walk a new business partner through, and then I would set them up for our next meeting, which is the game planning meeting, where we're gonna go through what their goals are and how it is that we're gonna work with them to achieve that. All right. So with that said, this ends the training on the orientation for a new business partner around their Organo Gold business. My name is Paul Bryan. I see you at the top. Go forth and build a fantastic, a massive Organo Gold business and set up yourself and your family and many families for financial freedom. All right. Bye.